gentlemen, once again, for BizTalk. My name is Daryl Goodman, and
I am Shawnette Bright, his best assistant ever.
Whoa! Whoa! You know what, y'all? She ain't never lying. But as I always say, it's costing me a lot of money to have her now. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just glad she's here with us once again because we've got the lady. We've got the lady. But before I introduce you to her, I need to show you some slides. Bring me up, cousin. And I'm sure some of you out there recognize the lady. Boom, yeah! There she is. Go on now. Do I need to show you again how engaged she is? Because, I mean, she working it, baby. She working it. Go ahead on, Miss Lady. And, of course, this is who we are talking about. We about to show her to you now. I know y'all sitting on the edge of your seat wondering who Daryl talking about. So, cousin, bring us up. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, there she is. Tell us about you. Who are you? For those that don't know.
Hello, everyone. I'm Krystal Yaden, better known as Krystal with a K, the connector. And I say the connector because people know that I know somebody that does real estate or that does photography, videography, something. They just know who to reach out to. They say, please connect me with this person. And I'm usually that person. If I can't do it, I know how to connect you with the next person. I love networking. So that's where the connector comes from.
Oh my goodness. Miss Shawnette, I know you got some questions.
Well, Krystal, can you tell us how long have you been in your production business?
Yes, so my production business is called Krystal Klear Productions. That's Krystal with a K, Klear with a K, Productions spelled the regular way. It's an event and media production company. So we always say, you know, before the official part of the business, making it official, there's the hustle. So I will say, as far as the acting side of it, I've been doing it since before the age of 12. But at the age of 15 is when I knew I could do it. And I think we'll talk about that in a couple of seconds. But officially, we will say for the last 4 or 5 years.
For the last 4 or 5 years. And that's acting.
Well, not just acting. That's no. That's the whole production company.
The whole
officially,
production
yes.
company, total. Okay, so if you don't mind, can you walk us through a typical work day for you?
Wow, I didn't know that was coming. So this is funny to me, right? Because y'all are getting the exclusive interview. I'm usually interviewing people, so the fact that y'all interviewing me right now, it's just like a wild thing for me. I'm in the hot seat.
It's a wild
I
thing
guess
for
I
us
have
too.
to. I know, but I'm saying you could be asking me all kinds of crazy questions.
But
I don't
we
know
won't
what's
do
going
that to you.
Yeah.
We usually
Okay.
do that now. I want you to know we have crazed out some people. But
Okay.
we got Miss Krystal Klear, and we're going to be clear about that. We're not
right.
going to craze out on Miss
That's
Krystal.
right.
Go ahead on Miss
Okay,
Krystal.
so what is a typical day for me like? That's a hard question to answer, and the reason why is because every day is different, depending on what I have going on. For example, just recently I booked a Valentine's Day dinner type gig, which was acting, and I actually was supposed to be the main character for this series. However, something happened where I didn't get back the director in time, and the next person got back, and that person ended up taking on the main role, and I ended up being an extra, which it ended up being fine, because this person had to point a gun and cuss and do all these other things that I don't really care to do. But you know, it's acting, so sometimes you have to do those types of things. But I was fine being an extra just because of the storyline. So sometimes it could be a day where I'm just doing some acting, some filming, or it could be a day where I do events, of course. So it could be a day where I'm at the venue for the event, getting the venue ready or whatever, and then we might have like a gospel concert, a stage play. There's different types of events I do. Might be my own event, so I'm getting ready. So I don't know. It's hard to really answer that question. Every day is different. It might be something that I'm modeling for that day, so I have to be there, get hair and makeup done. Sometimes the days are just long, I'll say that. But they're long and they're very purpose-filled.
Well, you answer us very well, even though those days are long. So these events, are they like weddings, parties, or more like social events?
So for weddings, that's not much more of me. That's more of my mother. My mother has been a caterer and decorator since before I was born. So more than 30 years she's been doing it. That's where I get my event planning side from in the family. So I do help her when she has her own events. But my events, they have been really huge gospel concerts with thousands of people for the last couple of years. I've directed a music video before from start to finish, as far as scripting it, editing it, doing finding locations. It all depends. And then I have my own personal events for Krystal Klear Productions, where I feel like in 2018, God was telling me, okay, you've been doing these bigger events with tons of people, but you need to do something that might be a little bit smaller for small business owners. So that's when I started doing events like the Entrepreneurial Kickback, where we don't dress up in a suit and tie. We get really laid back, in our jeans on a Friday night. And we come, people that think they are supposed to be entrepreneurs because they feel that entrepreneurial tug in their spirit, people that are already business owners. Those are the type of people that come to that type of event. We discuss business. We ask questions to each other. I'm not the only one that gives advice in the room. Everybody else can give advice, chime, and we have vendors. So it's an opportunity too for people that already are in business to sell their products. And we have what I call a biz-free talk. That's when we all talk about business and even help the people that are just trying to start. Very fun. So then I also have other events as far as the Black History Soul Meet and Eat. That's something I do in February. Every February. However, I won't be doing it this year because of coronavirus. We've transitioned to an online event. But with Black History Soul Meet and Eat, I love the arts. One of my majors was theater. So with that, we usually have poetry. We'll have music, African drum and dancing, a lot of food. We'll say gala food because it's Black History Month, and we're in the holy city of Charleston, South Carolina, and that's how we get down. And we have a lot of fun there and a lot of vendors. So that's usually how that works. I have a couple of different other events I do, but I think the Black History one out of all of them is the most popular. I also do a holiday drop, shop, and play, and that's usually in December. That's our holiday event where we have vendors, we have music. People can come out, shop with the vendors, and also they can bring their kids, because most of my events are family friendly, because I'm a family friendly type of person and I'm a community type person. So that's mainly, I think I've covered most of the events I have. But if I'm not having my own events, that means that I've been booked to do someone else's or coordinate someone else's event.
Okay, Ms. Krystal, let's talk about the business of Krystal Klear. What would you say is the type of business that you have? Is it all product, service and all product? How would you describe the type of business that you have?
So I am all services. That's the type of business we have. All services, no products. It may be possible we may do products in the future. I'm a person that's into fashion, so it may be something that could be possibly fashion-wise. So.
Okay. So now that we have established that, what is your marketing strategy? Don't give me the real secret one that is under lock and key. But in general, as a event planner, promoter, and exhibitor, how would you characterize your marketing strategy? What do you use? Which types of marketing do you use?
Wow, see, that was one of those questions. I'm in the hot seat, I'm telling you. Okay, so I will give you a basic one.
Okay.
Something that all people do use.
Right.
Some people aren't always that great at it, and sometimes that's why they might call me.
Oh, right. Do it, girl.
But we'll say social media is one of the biggest things. One of the biggest things to use right about now when it comes to Facebook, Instagram, could even be on Snapchat if that's where your audience is. Those are things that I think people should use. Twitter, YouTube, because I have my own show on YouTube as well. So that's a very basic one.
Very basic.
But of course I do, I guess I didn't talk about my services. So I do event planning, day of coordination, marketing and promotions, PR, which is public relations. So that's, and also different media services, which is on camera, radio, TV interviews, voiceovers, music, video directing, a whole bunch of other stuff that I can't even name. But within that, with the PR, that will be another part of how I kind of market. But with the PR, we're kind of more marketing to news outlets. So I call them my fellow news outlets, you know, in Charleston. One of them I interned at more than 10 years ago now as a broadcast media intern. But it's good to do PR as well, to reach out to those outlets when you have something going on. So that's one of the things I do. That is definitely not everything, but that's just a little taste.
Hey, that's enough.
That is enough. Well, can you tell us who may, you know, benefit from your services? Like, what type of clients do you normally see?
Wow. Oh, I feel like it's people that are just all over. So people, of course, who are having events. For example, I do the Speak Freely Foundation Poetry Festival. That's something that they said, hey, we want you to do this. It's dealing with kids and other people. Anything that's kids related, I love that too. Family related, kids related, community related. It also can be, like I said, I've done several gospel concerts. So I am one of the gospel girls in the Low Country. So a lot of the time when we have gospel concerts going on, the first person that somebody may call say, hey, Krystal with a K, what's going on with this concert? You have something to do with this? And I'm like, no, I might not. Even though they think that I have something to do with everything that goes on. But so it could be somebody who wants to put on a gospel concert, or they might need certain things done during their gospel concert as far as on stage production. I do some things there in the Low Country with that. It could be if somebody's having a fashion show and they need some coordination with the fashion show. There's so many different types of events that can be done.
Okay, so now what we've established, Miss Krystal with a K, is that you use various forms of marketing.
Right.
And
that too, because I didn't mention that just now, but we mentioned that earlier. Someone who needs marketing,
right?
Do that too.
And you utilize various tools in your marketing effort. And we know that you're a woman of many talents. But how do you differentiate yourself from about 5 or 6 people whose name I won't call?
Oh, wow.
That do some of the same services? How is Krystal Klear clearly different from the rest?
Wow. I'm like, do I know some of those people? But I'm not.
Oh, you do. I know you do.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think you said it. You said it all. That is how I differentiate myself. I am Krystal with the K. I don't know too many other people walking around saying I'm Krystal with the K, but I tell you, when I tell people that and I introduce myself to people that way, they usually always remember. No one usually comes back to me and says, what's your name again? I don't usually have that problem. Every now and then. But, you know, that means that if they have remembered my name, that I make some type of great impression. I'm hoping. That's my hope. So anyway, I believe that that's the way I differentiate myself, by simply saying that, because that's a part of my brand. Also, just by the name of the company, Krystal Klear Productions. Like I said, Krystal with a K, Klear with a K, Productions spelled the regular way. And it's funny because my company used to be called Diva Styles years ago.
I can see why.
Probably around more than 6 or 7 years ago, that's what it was called. And people would ask me, and it offered more services than this. I used to offer tutoring because I love tutoring kids. I still tutor, but I just don't usually use that as a service or whatever. So I've tutored K through doctoral degrees, as funny as that is. So anyway, I differentiate myself by this name because when it was called Diva Styles, people would say, well, do you do hair? And I'm like, no, I don't even want to touch my own hair. That's why I have a hairdresser. So I asked God for a name that would deal more with me, that was more associated with me. And Krystal Klear Productions is what I came up with. And that's where Krystal with the K, of course. And then the Clear I wanted to spell with the K because that's just how I'm just all about the K's. That's just how it is. Sense. So in Krystal Klear, the meaning of that, as I say, that we're taking every step to make your production crystal clear. And so when I say that, I mean a production that is professional, that is seamless, as in ran very smoothly, and one that is done in the spirit of excellence. And if I'm not doing it in the spirit of excellence, I'm just not going to do it at all. But that is how we differentiate ourselves.
So let me continue along the line. As we look at how are you able to manage your time? In other words, now I'm looking at the management of Krystal Klear Production, because there are so many different aspects to your business. So how do you manage your time in order to accomplish what you have to get done?
Wow. Whew. I felt my heart pump. That's such a hot seat question. For me, I don't know. Oh, man. One thing I try not to do is overwhelm myself in through time management. I remember about a decade ago, I won't say how old I am. Anyway, I'm not that old, but about a decade ago, I used to work 2 and 3 jobs. I would work a full-time job from like 8 to 4, then drive to the next job for the next 30 minutes and be there by 4:30. Work from 4:30 to 6:30 with a bunch of kids after I already was burned out from the full-time job. And then go and do homework, or I would have to leave that second job early to go to school because I was in grad school at the same time. I don't recommend anybody do that, but that was what I call crazy because I was working several jobs at one time and in grad school and trying to finish my grad school as fast as I could because I wanted it to be over and I wanted my degree. So I look at that. And then over the years, I look at how I am now, and I said, I don't want to do that again. So I try to manage my time as much as I can. I'm very big on writing things down. I'm very big on keeping a calendar. And when I tell you I write things down as far as what I have going on for what day, the right side of my car, people say looks like an office space because there's sticky notes all over the place. I have it right in my phone, in my calendar. So time management, how do I do that? It's very big for me to stay organized. And that's one of the things I do in my business. I organize other people and events and, their marketing, whatever people have going on, I help organize them. So obviously, I guess they trust me enough. But organization, I think, is key to my time management. But it's always best for me to also make sure I get what I call that K time, that Krystal with a K time. Like people say me time, I call it K time. So if I get that time, I can even better manage my time.
Michelle?
Well, I mean, I'm just blown away. But at this time, is there anything else you want to tell the audience that you felt you didn't cover?
Wow. Yeah, so I'll talk about some of the other sides of my business. Of course, Krystal Klear Productions is the actual umbrella of the business. That's mainly the event planning, coordination. But then it's also Krystal Klear Promotions is the marketing promotion side and the PR. And then there's Keeping It Krystal Klear, which is my show. That's the on-camera show is on YouTube at Krystal K Pro. And then we're also on Twitter at Krystal K Pro. And then the radio show is on KineticHiFi.net on Saturdays from 4 to 5 p.m. And we are Charleston's first, Charleston's best streaming radio station. So the other parts of the company that are under the umbrella is also Krystal Klear Kids. So with Krystal Klear Kids, it's all kids-oriented events. Just recently, we were able to do Krystal Klear Productions Give Back for Christmas. And so Christmas Eve, I spent my entire day running around in stores, going to get toys for kids, and I also had some school supplies and packed it all up and gave it to different parents so they can have it to give to their kids for Christmas. So just last year in 2020, we were able to do our first give back, which was really exciting that I was able to do that. And then also we have Krystal Klear Cares. So that is the side of the company where we kind of just give back to the community. Because like I say, I'm Krystal with a K. I'm all about community all the time. That's just me. That's the person I am. And so with that, we were able to do our first Thanksgiving give back. We partnered with 2 nonprofits, which was Messiah's Helping Hands and also a Brighter Future Foundation, to put that event on where it was They Fed the Hungry. And I did the clothe the need part where I just passed out clothing and people were able to come and get that. So that was the first time we were able to do that as well. So I say 2020 was more like my give back year. So it's always, I think in a business it's also important to give back as well, because they say small businesses usually give back a lot to their communities. And I'm one of those people, and I'm glad that I am able to do that. So lastly, my other part of my company is called KKP Connects, which is Krystal Klear Productions Connects, and that's when we do community unity events. Because once again, I'm all about community all the time. And you can find me on Facebook at Krystal Klear Productions, also on Twitter and YouTube at Krystal K Pro, and on Instagram at Krystal Klear Pro.
Well, my goodness gracious, y'all. So, Ms. Krystal, we have looked at the marketing. We've looked at the management. I'm going to skip over the finance and accounting because I know you got them accounts with them whole big a whole lot of them zeros.
Wow.
So I'm not going to get into that personal stuff with your finance.
He's claiming it.
But you know, I'm curious about the organization, how you structured your company.
Wow.
How did you determine how you wanted to structure the different, as we call them, business units, or units with the business units within your company? How did you determine how you were going to structure your company?
Wow. Like I say, I'm very organized. I'll give y'all, I guess, a very basic spiel on that. Very organized. So before I even went in simply, and this is advice to anybody who's trying to start a business, before I even went to say, oh, let me file for an LLC or let me go get my EIN number, I needed to do my research, to see, and also make sure of the fact that this is what I want to do. Some people even leave their job, their full-time job, and start their own business. But, I also say, well, is that something I want to do? I don't know. But anyway, you just got to be sure in everything that you do when it comes to a business or just in your personal life. So that's one of the strategies for me. I was just all about being sure. I do a lot of praying, so that's a very big thing for me. It's just organization. I know that's the best I can really answer the question, because organization, if you organize everything, it just helps for the rest, for everything else to fall in place.
Okay.
I hope that helped.
Well, it does. It
Organization
does
is the
because
key.
it's important. Go ahead, Ms. Shawnee. Go ahead.
But I was just saying, organization is key. So many people, find themselves wanting to start something, but they're all over the place. And if you're all over the place, it's going to be ran dysfunctional. So yeah, organization is key.
Yeah. And I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm perfect, like I was not all over the place. Okay, I'm usually not all over the place. That's usually what it is. However, there were a whole bunch of other ideas and other services that I wanted to offer, but it's very important for you to narrow it down. Like I said, with Diva Styles, when my business used to be called, I used to offer tutoring and then this and that and so many other services. However, I had to narrow that down. And so now that I've narrowed that down, I am not one that is one to be overwhelmed as much as I probably used to be in doing things. They say work smarter, not harder.
It's true.
All right. Okay, so now let's look at what we've talked about, and we're gonna let you go, Miss Krystal, because I know you done got all find up not to be in here with me today. So whoever that lucky person is, they are lucky.
Wow.
All right, so let's list them. We've talked about the management, we've talked about the marketing, we've talked about the organization. Now I want to ask you about the HR, or the human resource aspect of your business. Now, I know you've worked with a lot of people, and when we're in business, some people we enjoy working with, some people we enjoy not working with, and those that we work with because the necessity of earning an income, and after it's over, we go, thank God it's over. But how do you determine from a human resources aspect who you are going to bring in to help you from time to time, and how do you determine who you need? So we're looking at the organizational aspect, the human resources aspect of your company. How do you determine who I'm going to work with and who I'm not going to work with?
Wow, I'm telling you, that's another hot seat question.
I know.
For me.
That's why I asked
they said
those
they weren't going to
questions.
ask me any hot seat questions, but
Yeah.
you know what? They're
Yeah.
asking me them. How?
Well,
Like
it
I
was
said,
Miss Shaunett's idea.
oh, we're going to blame it on her. Okay, we're blaming it on you.
I'll take
Well, I mean, the only reason I went there is the only reason why
Wow.
Ted Cruz went to,
Cancun.
yeah, because somebody told me to do it.
Oh, man.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have asked that question.
So I'll answer. So how do I determine who I'm going to work with or who's going to work with me? So most of the time, it's all me, and I'm a one-woman show. one woman band a lot of the time. For some things, it may be possible that I need some volunteers or other people that I have to contract out. For example, if we're doing a big gospel concert and I need a team of people to be there, as the ushers, to be there as the security with the national recording gospel artists or whatever, whatever the case may be, then, like I said, I go back to the fact that I say I do pray. So I really do, I pray on that. I speak to God on that, like who should be, because I don't believe everybody should be in your circle, your personal circle. I say sometimes my circle's so small, it's just me. I'm just kidding. I do have a few other people, but you just have to I just have to pray on that to see who I should bring in. And sometimes there's other people who will come around me and just straight up offer help. And I'm just like, that's an amazing thing. And so sometimes I may even, barter with other businesses when it comes to bringing them in to assist with different things like that.
Okay. Well, Ms. Shawnette, you want to close us out today?
Oh, I was supposed to mention one more thing.
Oh, yeah.
Go right ahead.
Go right ahead.
So I do have a Black History event coming up. It's called the Family First Fun Friday, celebrating Black history, and it will be taking place next Friday, February 26th from 7 to 9 p.m. Y'all, we are still in this COVID-19 world. So, of course, instead of doing our Black History Soul Meet and Greet, which is our signature Black History Month event, I know everybody's going to miss the food and miss the performances that we have. However, in the efforts to stay safe, it is a virtual event. So you can find it on Facebook or Eventbrite, because Eventbrite is where you can go to get your tickets. It's only $5. That's not a lot at all. Only $5. It's a family-oriented event. We're going to have trivia. I love doing trivia at my events. And y'all know when it's in person, I usually do prizes too. Because I feel like most of the time I don't like people to go home without getting anything. So almost everybody gets a prize. So we're going to be doing Black History trivia, getting some prizes. We also have a few short films centered around Black short films. And then also, what else are we having? Music, of course, some African American Black type music. And then also I'm giving away a I can't forget that, legacy tributes. We have 3 legacies, or 3 legends that have passed away last month. So baseball player Hank Aaron, also songwriter and national recording gospel artist Duranis Pace. I had the pleasure of working with her one year, probably a couple of years ago actually, when she came here. And then also the actress and fashion model Cicely Tyson. So we'll be doing some tributes to them during the event. And we will also be giving away a Black History basket. What's included in that Black History basket? It is some of my favorite eateries, some of my favorite spots that are local here. They they're basically a part of the basket, meaning Park Circle Creamery, it's my favorite ice cream place to eat in Park Circle. However, they are moving. I won't say where because I don't know if they've announced it yet. I think they have announced it. But anyway, look up Park Circle Creamery on Facebook. Tails is a food truck. They've expanded. They also have a brick and mortar place. They have a second food truck. Seafood galore, y'all. I'm talking about my favorite dish from there is actually lobster mac and cheese. Shout out to Brian Washington. Shout out to Maurice Ray at Park Circle Creamery. And then also we have Kwan's Barbecue. So Kwan sells all these different types of barbecue. I'm talking about barbecue chicken, barbecue pork, barbecue brisket, and a whole bunch of different sides, and everything I've had is good because I've had everything, I promise you. I even had some last night. And then also another person who's going to be in our basket, our business, is Daddy's Girls Bakery, which is next to Kwan's. They are both located on Reynolds Avenue. Daddy's Girls Bakery, they have been baking for at least almost 10 years. So all that is going to be included in the basket. I've got some Black History educational coloring books for your children. There's some more that's going to be included in the basket as far as local businesses and other things centered around Black history. But I'm just saying, if you want to win the basket, all you got to do is get your ticket and attend the events.
My goodness, I'm good and hungry. I don't know about you, Miss Shawnette.
Starving.
But I'm hungry, man.
Yes.
All right. Well, Miss Shawnette, anything
Well,
before
one
we
last
go?
thing before we go. Tell everyone how we can get in contact with you.
Oh, I thought I already did that, but I'm
Once
going to
again.
let them know
We
again.
gotta let them know again.
Yes. So once again, we're on Facebook. It's Krystal Klear Productions. That's Krystal with a K, Clear with a K, Productions spelled the regular way. We're on Twitter and YouTube, our on-camera show, Keeping It Krystal Klear. That highlights interesting people, places, and events in the Low Country area. Twitter and YouTube, we are on at Krystal K Pro, and also Instagram, Krystal Klear Pro. That's Clear, Klear. You can contact us at 843-608-9416. That's 843-608-9416. Or email us at krystalklearproductions, the number 1 at gmail.com.
Well, as we say in church, all hearts and minds are clear. Cousin, you got that picture of all three of us? I think it's time for us to let Miss Krystal go. What do you think, Miss Shawnee?
I think we got enough. I think we
All
figured it out.
right. Well, can we get you to come back, Miss Krystal?
Can I come back?
Yes.
Now, what do you want me to do when I come? Am I going to be in the hot seat again, or are you going to have me interview somebody? What you going to do?
Yeah, all of the above. I want you to come and talk about what you're about to do, and then, if you got some information you want to impart to everyone out there, we'll take that too. So, just be prepared to come back. But in the meantime, and in between time, take us out of here, cousin.